What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Aligned and Ambitious TV. This week's episode is super juicy, so get a notepad, get a pen, because we are covering the 5-Figure Flow exclusive proven launch process. So just in case you didn't know, I created something called the 5-Figure Flow process, and this is a process that I created about 2.5 years ago. I have used it with every single launch that I've ever had. Even before I knew that this was going to be a process, all of my clients use this process, and it is responsible for generating hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars for both myself and my clients. So let's get into what this process actually entails. This is a 5-step process that takes about 6 to 8 weeks to go through every single stage with intentionality. And so one of my biggest launch tips in general is to make sure that you plan ahead. Winging it is for eyeliner, not for launching. So the first step in the 5-Figure Flow launch process is what I like to call the tease phase. And the tease phase happens about 6 weeks before you actually start launching. And during the tease phase, you're doing just that. This is all about building curiosity within your community that something is coming. And launching to me is about creating an emotional experience. And so the first emotion that we're really evoking is curiosity, because when people are curious, they pay attention. And so in this phase of your launch, you're simply just sharing that something is coming before actually telling them what it is. The second phase is called the hype phase. Now this is about 4 to 5 weeks before you actually open the doors, but this is where you start actually hyping up whatever it is you're going to offer. A lot of people make the mistake to not share with their audience the product that they're launching until the doors open. But my philosophy is your audience should know exactly what you're launching, exactly who it's for, and exactly what the transformation is well before doors open, so that when doors do open, you have people flocking to enroll. You've already done the educating, you've already done the priming, and they know exactly what it is. And so a way that I personally share this is I will show the marketing collateral, I will tease the sales page, I will drop a glimmer of the logo, and I will really just hype up the entire program and get people really, really excited about it. So this is the stage where we're taking them from curiosity to pure excitement. Now, the third phase in the launch process is what I call the event phase. And this is when you're hosting your actual launch event. So whether you're using a waitlist or you're hosting a masterclass or you're doing a challenge, whatever strategy you're using, this is where you really rally people together, spend a week to 2 weeks promoting your launch event and getting people signed up to consume whatever it is that you're going to be doing. I think a launch event is critical when it comes to having a successful launch, because it really just continues to build the momentum that we've been building in the previous phases. So from the event phase, we go into the 4th phase of the 5-Figure Flow launch process, which is called the education phase. Now, the education phase actually takes place during your launch event, because it's your job to educate your audience on a few things. First of all, you want to educate them on whatever topic it is you're talking about. And so if I'm launching my 5-Figure Flow program, I might do a topic on the 5-Figure Flow launch process. This builds credibility, it gives them something tangible to go out and execute with, and it shows them that I'm the expert to teach them on this specific topic. The second thing you're going to want to educate them on is why what they've been doing hasn't worked up until this point. And so you want to educate them that there's a better way to be doing whatever it is that they're doing to achieve the result that you want to do. So for example, when I'm launching my launch course, a topic that I talk about is the common launch mistakes that I see to avoid, to show them, hey, you've been making these mistakes. I know it because I've been there, I've seen it, and this is actually a much better way to do it. And doing this also educates them that you are the exact person to teach them how to get the transformation that they're actually looking for. And finally, the 5th phase of the 5-Figure Flow process is the sales phase. Now, this is when the doors are opening, this is when you're actively selling whatever it is you're launching. And here's the thing that I appreciate about this launch process process so much. If you've done all the phases leading up until this point, selling does not feel hard because your audience is engaged, they are invested, they are primed, they are educated, they are excited, and if your program is truly right for them, they're ready to enroll by this point. And so that is just a quick overview of the 5-Figure Flow launch process. Hopefully this gives you some insight and you can reflect on the way that you've been launching so far, start to plan a little bit more ahead, and start to go through these phases with even more intentionality. Okay guys, that's all for this week's episode. I will see you next time.